The two giants of combat sports, the undefeated Floyd Mayweather Jr., 5-weight division world champion, and the MMA poster boy, the current UFC lightweight world title holder, CONOR McGREGOR, who will meet on August 26. And this evening in London, they embark on yet another slanging match, trash talk bout, which will make headlines around the globe. But let me tell you, at the same time, it is magnetic, it is theatre, it is a trumped-up show to end all press tours. It is addictive. Stick with us as we guide you through it. Here on ITV Box Office, we're looking forward to a night of live boxing tomorrow as well, featuring Chris Eubank Jr. and Arthur Abraham. It's a first defence of the title since Eubank Jr. joined his father as a world champion.
He has the heart of a fighter.
He's a single-minded, well-tuned machine.
He's on a search and destroy mission.
This is just the beginning.
You ready?
It's an exciting road ahead.
Let's go. This is 10% line, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. Chris Eubank Jr. is on the rampage.
It doesn't matter what your name is. If you can't fight, you can't fight.
Yeah, beautiful. Oh, that's a cracking single shot.
And in the ring, he is brutal.
He's going through the gears, going for the stoppage here.
And Howard Foster has seen enough.
Brutality at its most brilliant.
This is the toughest fight of my career so far.
All in the name of entertainment.
100% reason to remember the name.
Now I really have to turn things up.
Well, this is what we've got to look forward to tomorrow evening in this same venue. There are belts on the line in all of our live fights as we build towards Chris Eubank Jr. against Arthur Abraham. Undoubtedly the champion's biggest test to date, although Abraham only just made the weight. Sheffield's Kid Galahad is first into the ring, facing the Mexican Jose Kitano. And then Robbie Davis Jr. against Mikhail Sirovotka from Poland. Brentwood's Martin J. Ward has got a chance to claim a Lonsdale belt outright when he faces Anthony Kakachi from Belfast. And we end with two world title fights. Welshman Lee Selby making the third defence of the IBF featherweight title against Argentina's Jonathan Barros. And then Eubank Jr. and Abraham, who will be in the ring at around 10:30 tomorrow night. And if you haven't registered to watch the show yet, this is how you do it, www.itvboxoffice.com, and that will give you all the details. Alongside me tonight for what is going to be one hell of a ride is the former WBC super middleweight champion, Richie Woodall. Richie, good evening to you. Tonight is going to be huge, but tomorrow ain't that bad either.
Yeah, it's a fantastic night of boxing tomorrow night. I'm really looking forward to it. I think Chris Eubank Jr. is someone to watch out for. He's just the IBO champion doing his first defence against Arthur Abraham, who is a seasoned pro, a seasoned champion actually. I mean, he's in his 24th world title fight and will be a serious threat. But interestingly, he failed to make the weight today. It took him 2 or 3 attempts. I think it was the third attempt he made the weight, so he's tight on the weight. But I'm looking forward to Eubank Jr. I'm really impressed with him over the years.
We'll get into that a little bit later on. Now listen, you fought Olympic Games, you spent 10 years as a pro, you were a world champion who went 10 rounds on a magnificent night with Joe Calzaghe. But have you ever seen anything like this?
No, well I have. Back in the Ricky Hatton days, I have to say, they were great days to be a commentator on and going out to Vegas and seeing like 20,000 Brits at the fight and 10,000 at a press conference once and a weigh-in. And actually today when I arrived at my hotel, it was incredible, the timing. As I'm walking into my hotel, so is Floyd Mayweather Jr. and the crowds that were there. I thought, oh, they know I'm here. But it was incredible, it really was. And it brought back memories of those Ricky Hatton days. And yeah, tremendous stuff. It's great for boxing.
11,000 in LA, 17,000 in Toronto. Brooklyn had its issues last night, but it was still watched by tens and tens of millions on the internet. Just explain why this particular bout has captured the interest of the entire globe.
I think it's captured everyone's imagination because at the end of the day, Conor McGregor is probably the Floyd Mayweather figure of the MMA. He's the top of the tree. He's the one everyone's talking about. And of course, Floyd Mayweather he's kingpin in professional boxing, and he's fought so many great fighters and beaten them. In fact, so many great fighters who couldn't hardly land a punch on him. So there really is... people are thinking about who can win this contest. Most people are going for Mayweather, but your MMA fans are convinced that there's going to be an upset. He's naturally a bigger man, he's McGregor. He's got a lot of power. And I've spoken to a few people who have seen him spar. He's not too bad, but you're going against the pound-for-pound best in the world, and it's going to be really difficult for the lad, I'll tell you that.
Are you for this kind of fighting, mixing two combat disciplines?
No, I'm not really for it, but I'm for boxing being put in a good light. I'm all for boxing being headline news, front page and back page, and this kind of event is that exactly what it's doing. It's frontline headlines, front page headlines, should I say, back page headlines. It's fantastic for the sport of boxing, but the boxing itself, the fight itself, let's wait and see what happens. The build-up to it is fantastic. Just look around you here, how many people are in this arena just to see these two, go head-to-head in a face-off.
In a press conference, the free tickets they're selling on the internet for about 150 quid a piece. We can get about 9,000, 10,000 in here tonight, but the queues, I'll tell you now, around the block, still trying to get into this venue for this press conference, which was supposed to start at 7 tonight. But if you've been watching these on the internet over the course of the last few days, you will know that they never run to time, that there's always a bit of chaos. There's always a reason why that there's a delay. And I don't know, maybe they're slicing up Conor McGregor's birthday cake right now. That might be
his birthday today, yeah.
Why they're having a little bit of a delay. We mentioned that boxing purists don't unanimously endorse this, but the public certainly do, the casuals certainly do. It does help raise the profile of boxing, as you say, it keeps it in the headlines. And what does it do for MMA as well?
Well, I should imagine it does exactly the same, and if he can do the unthinkable in this contest on the 26th of August, if Conor McGregor can actually beat Floyd Mayweather, you imagine what that would do for the MMA sport. It would be incredible. But I think most people in boxing think that they know that Mayweather's going to win this fight. Some people are saying it's a total mismatch. Other people, especially MMA people, are saying that McGregor's got a great chance because he's got a lot of power, he's very, very nasty and vicious, and he's in with a shout. We shall see, but most people are going for Mayweather, aren't they?
It's not just the main protagonists that have come into sharp focus over the course of the last 72 hours or so. We've heard from the UFC president, Dana White. He's very, very loud and very, very proud about what he's achieved with that sport and what he could achieve with Conor McGregor. Let's hear now, though, from the CEO of Mayweather Promotions. Here's Leonard Ellaby.
What do you make of the reception for your man, Floyd Mayweather, here in London?
Floyd Mayweather loves London. London is his favorite place. He's talked about this over the years. He couldn't wait to get here. London, the UK has been his biggest supporters from the international perspective, and these are his best fans. Couldn't wait to get here.
The big sort of question around Floyd is why take this fight apart from the money? Why take this fight apart from the money?
Because it's the fans who demanded this fight, and that's exactly what him and Conor want to give the fans. And this is all about entertainment. It's all about entertainment, and it's going to be very exciting. We can't wait.
What do you make of the psychology and the build-up so far, the days that we've had? I mean, many feel that Conor has won the show so far.
Well, there's no such thing as winning the show. It only counts when it's under the lights. You know, both are very, very good showmen. Conor McGregor, he talks a lot of trash. Floyd used to talk a lot of trash, but come August the 26th, we're going to see if Conor McGregor can back that talk up.
Well, this is the question. I mean, essentially, and boxing aficionados will say this, what chance Conor McGregor? No chance, many say, which makes this potentially a non-event. That's what those who are against this fight, if you like, will say.
Well, I tend to have to agree. I think that I'm of the opinion that I have a lot of experience in boxing, and I know just recently we saw what happened with Manny Pacquiao, a guy that across the board none of the media gave a chance, and he wound up upsetting Manny Pacquiao. So therefore, you can never take any opponent slightly. And Floyd is preparing for Conor McGregor the same way he would anyone else, and it's going to be a terrific fight.
Quick prediction, August 26th, what happens?
Mayweather by KO.
Well, Conor McGregor would dispute that. He's already told Floyd Mayweather Jr. once he's going to knock him out inside 4 rounds. That might be a little bit ambitious. Mayweather admitted himself his reflexes were a little bit slower than they used to be. He's 40 now. He's coming out of retirement for this. It's going to be nigh on 2 years by the time they actually step into the ring on August 26. And McGregor is fitter, he's taller, he's younger, he's leaner. Let's have it right. He's still active as well.
He's still active, but you've got to remember Floyd Mayweather isn't someone who has been lying on his couch every day of the week. I've been to certain dinner shows, and actually I've interviewed him at one dinner show, and he looked in tremendous condition. And I had a word with him backstage, and he says he was training every day, even since his retirement. So he's still in good condition. I don't know whether he's done that much sparring up until this contest, but obviously now he's back in the gym, and he's obviously got to spar bigger and heavier opponents. But this is nothing new to Floyd Mayweather. He's used to boxing against naturally bigger people, and he uses that to his advantage because it's his speed of movement which is absolutely key, and especially his hand speed coupled with that movement makes him extremely difficult to actually pin down. You know, I read a quote from Bernard Hopkins, I think it was, who says that with Floyd Mayweather, you can throw a handful of rice at him and you're barely going to touch him with any of the grains. He's that good at dodging out the way.
He's so elusive, isn't he?
Yeah, very, very elusive. So that won't scare him at all, that he's in against a naturally bigger man, and he'll use that to his advantage in that he'll be faster on his feet.
Let's hear from one of Conor McGregor's biggest cheerleaders. It's the UFC president, Dana White.
Good to see you. How do you sum it up so far, and what do you make of London?
I love London. It's been crazy so far, and I'm expecting today to be the craziest. You know, Floyd's coming into hostile territory today. It's been a whole hostile trip for him. I was like, if he doesn't get any love in Brooklyn, man, he can forget about London. It's a wrap.
What's Conor got in store?
I don't care what either one of them have in store, as long as they don't put their hands on each other. Last night got a little crazy in Brooklyn, and as long as that doesn't happen, I'm good.
What do you make of the critics of this, and there have been some, obviously, the purists, wondering just why this fight is taking place, and maybe not that impressed by some of the trash talking, the way it's potentially degenerated? Have they got a point?
Yeah, no, not at all. The reality is what's going on here is just as much a part of the fight as the fight itself. The mental warfare game, these are two of the best to ever do it. Floyd has yet to beat his match physically or verbally until now. But what this has been about is trying to get in each other's heads, and that's why you've seen this thing escalate from Los Angeles to where we are now.
Who's won the show so far?
I think they both had their moments. They both had their moments. And it's funny when people say, that they've taken this thing. These guys are going to try to knock each other unconscious in about a month and a half. Okay, the verbal warfare is a part of the fight too. But this is a fight. This is a fight, not a croquet game. This is part of the deal.
Genuinely, what chance does Conor McGregor have in a boxing ring for the first time in his life against arguably one of the greats of all time, if not the greatest? Come on.
It's a boxing match under boxing rules, but at the end of the day, it's a fight. And Floyd Mayweather is 41 years old. If there's a kink in that armor that you could call it that, he's had trouble with southpaws. Conor McGregor is 28 years old, 29 today. It's actually his birthday. He is a southpaw, and he hits like a truck. If you think that Conor McGregor won't hit him once in a 12-round fight, those people are crazy. And Conor McGregor, when he hits you, he hurts you, and when he hurts you, he puts you away.
Last word to ITV and ITV box office?
This is the biggest fight in history ever. The ones who say, why is this fight happening and don't want to watch it, don't watch it. Watch something else.
It's a big claim, isn't it? It's a bold claim. Is it the biggest fight in history?
I think so. I think it's the biggest event. I think there have been more exciting fights on the cards involving people like Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali, obviously the greatest. But in terms of an event, yeah, it is the biggest fight. But just going back to what he said there about southpaws, well, Manny Pacquiao was a southpaw, meant to be the best out there. He couldn't hit Floyd Mayweather. Robert Guerrero, he was a southpaw. Ortiz, Zab Judah, I can go on, and he's beat all these southpaws. Occasionally he has a bit of trouble. Well, yeah, okay. There's an old saying, you can't go into the rain and dodge all the the spots. When you go into a boxing ring, it's like going into a rainstorm, so you are going to get hit with punches, but he's beaten everyone in front of him in every style. That's what makes him so good.
And Mayweather says he's brought in an MMA guy from Costa Rica to help him out. He is a southpaw like McGregor. The Irishman was talking to Paulie Malignaggi, who boxing fans in Britain will know really well, about coming on board and trying to give him a bit of tactical advice and tapping into that boxing brain. He's going to need that, right?
Well, you say boxing brain, and you say it in a way that's probably using a more intelligent approach and maybe laying off a little bit, but I'm not so sure with Mayweather. I think the biggest problem for McGregor is going to be he's going to get frustrated, because Mayweather always seems to box well at distance on the outside, picking his punches, moving in with his feet, moving out, and he makes you miss, and that can make you very frustrated and angry. And then he sets the trap, because the more angry you get, the more you come forward and you're trying to swing and punch, and then that's playing into the trap that he set, and he just picks you off. So I think the biggest problem for Conor McGregor is going to be controlling the emotions. If he gets too aggressive and goes after Mayweather, that's what Mayweather wants. So maybe you're right, maybe he has got to box intelligently, but there's been many a boxer, all-time greats, pound-for-pound boxers, that can't lay a glove on this fella. Okay, he has got a chance, because now Mayweather's 40 years of age, he's not getting any younger, he's been out of the ring for a couple of years, but it is still a tough ask for someone who has never boxed in a 12-round contest before.
Well, it's captured the imagination of fight fans everywhere, uniting combat sports. And as we said, this is the fourth stop on what has been a whirlwind world tour. It'll be the last one too. It all started on Tuesday night in Los Angeles.
Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. I still got it.
But 20,000 people. It's mind-blowing. I'm absolutely honored to be here before you to give you this great spectacle. And somebody's has got to go.
You light them up and I knock them down like bowling pins. And August 26th, I'm gonna knock this bitch out too.
Yeah, right. As far as the fight, he will be unconscious inside 4 rounds. The movement, the power, the ferociousness. He's not experienced this.
And the 2 biggest names in combat sports did this. So I didn't do this by myself. This man played a major part in this fight. But August 26th, that's your ass. That's your ass.
But he crossed over into our world. Floyd has a problem, but doesn't want to come over and deal with it. He wants me to come over his side. That's no problem, I'll do that. That's confidence.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Mayweather versus McGregor, Saturday, August 26th at the MGM T-Mobile Arena on Showtime pay-per-view. This afternoon was indeed the very first time these two have met, the very first time they are going face-to-face. You don't want to miss the action. Once again, Saturday, August 26th, MGM T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, Showtime pay-per-view.
Well, I think we found out on this recent tour that if his hands are as quick as his wit, then Floyd Mayweather Jr. is going to be in trouble from Conor McGregor.
I think McGregor's played a great part, hasn't he? You know, in the build-up to this, in these press conferences, he's really held his own, and I think he's got to Mayweather occasionally under his skin. Mayweather's seen it all before, but still little jibes about. I think that the one press conference he was on about he's a 40-year-old and he should dress like a 40-year-old. I don't think Floyd took, and he brought a school bag onto the stage. I don't think he took too kindly to those words. So McGregor, yeah, he has got under his skin. He's playing the part very well indeed. And from what I'm seeing just here tonight, there are a lot of McGregor fans in here, and I'd say they probably outnumber the Mayweather fans. And Mayweather loves Britain. He says he's got a lot of support here, but I think the majority of the support tonight, from what I've seen, they're all for McGregor.
There were 11,000 people on Tuesday night at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. Conor McGregor, who's got a reputation of being an expert in hyping a fight. The open mic cutting across, ultra offensive. He's very quick-witted. It's nothing new to him either. He was expected to school Floyd Mayweather Jr. that night, but actually the champ held his own. Wednesday night in Toronto was a little bit different. McGregor, who had complained that Showtime had shut off his mic the previous night, he brought his own mic with him, and he was hitting back verbally every time that Mayweather opened his mouth. Even the stunts that Mayweather were trying, you mentioned the bag, they didn't come off. He put on an Irish tricolour. McGregor picked up his bag of money and ridiculed the champ for not having any left. Let's take a look at it.
Money team. I remember it was all a dream. Like we living it ain't what it seems. Floyd got me feeling like a Millie, moonwalking like a Billie Jean. Southside fin shot and came up from the bottom of the bottom. Look at me. Now money team. Money team. Money team.
I'm not getting off this mic. I want him to come and take this mic off me. Otherwise, I'm taking over this whole.
We're not talking about being at the top 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 21 years.
One shot is all it takes me. Check the facts. I bounce shots off there. I bounce heads off the canvas and dribble that. He tip-tap-toes to a decision. He's never even fought a day in his life. He's a runner. He's boxing's big.
If you believe in yourself, like you say you believe in yourself, bitch your whole fight check, you.
No problem. Send the contract, kid. It's done.
Turn the pressure up. I don't quit. I don't fold under pressure. I'm the best, and I know I'm the best. And you know I'm the best. Don't y'all ever tell me about a $3 million fighter.
Not no more.
Yeah, we just getting heated up.
You're 40 years of age. Dress your age. Carrying a school bag on stage. What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read.
Oh, and I love what I got on. I'm wearing that Toronto flag. I look good in that Toronto gear.
Toronto, I love you all. Thank you all so much. It's an honor for me to come here. It's an honor. I love each and every one of you.
What is that? Talking about how tough you is. Talking about you got pride in you. Talking about you are killers. Real killers don't quit. Real killers don't quit.
You don't even know nothing about true fighting. You've never been in there. You're against little boxers afraid. You're against a different animal here, Floyd.
Shut the up.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. They want you off this stage.
You had your turn.
You're balancing yourself up there. Sick of hearing from you.
Dana White, you the boss. Dana White, you fly. Dana White, me and you got money. We know who got the money. We don't gotta wear suits. The real men that got money don't gotta wear suits.
Hey, you got the world watching. McGregor, Mayweather, face off.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you see August 26th, live on Showtime pay-per-view. Floyd Money Mayweather and the notorious Conor McGregor, live on Showtime pay-per-view. Toronto, the second stop of the Mayweather-McGregor World Tour. It is Mayweather-McGregor live on Showtime pay-per-view from Las Vegas, August 26th.
They had to move that to a bigger venue because they couldn't get enough people inside the original venue. 17,000 people turned up in Toronto. I noticed, by the way, that Conor McGregor said no problem about the idea of betting his check. but he didn't look too comfortable about it. And I don't think either of these fellas are betting anything. They're taking their money.
Yeah, he didn't take it any further, did he? But fair play to him. He says, well, we'll send out over the contract, no problem. But he just left it at that and just, I think, hoping that everything just settled down a little bit. But yeah, it was very interesting there. The insults were going in. And I don't think you can compare when Floyd's on about, you know, he's quit his opponent, Conor McGregor, he quit in certain fights and tapped out. You can't compare a defeat in MMA to a defeat or a loss in boxing, although we know that Mayweather's never lost. But they're two totally different disciplines at the end of the day, and that's why a lot of people won't buy into that.
Yeah, he has lost fights, there's no doubt about that, and you will hear Mayweather refer to the tap-outs, the submissions against Nate Diaz, although he did come back and beat him in the rematch. Joseph Duffy 7 years ago in a cage, Artem Stetenkov in 08, but 21 wins, 18 by knockout. And before you say this is a sport where you can kick, Conor McGregor has won 16 of those fights with punches. He has power, and Mayweather knows that he's got to be concerned about that.
Yeah, definitely. I've watched a little bit on Conor McGregor. I'm not a massive MMA fan, I have to say. I'm mainly a boxing fan, obviously, but I have looked up and I've watched Conor McGregor box a few times in these MMA fights, and his boxing skills are quite decent, to be quite honest with you, and he has got good power. He is a southpaw, and although he's regarded as a very aggressive fighter, actually when he's boxing he can counter punch on the back foot, and he makes his opponents miss, and then he knocks them out with some good shots. So his boxing skills are quite decent. Obviously he will have been in a boxing gym in the build up to this one, loads of sparring partners, I should imagine, that are very fast and quick on their feet, because you've got to try and prepare for the world's best in terms of Mayweather, in terms of the speed of movement, which is going to be very, very difficult. But all in all, Conor McGregor's boxing skills aren't bad.
Let's hear from Floyd Mayweather Jr. now. He's speaking to our reporter, Gabriel Clark.
What's it like to be here?
It's a great feeling. You know, it's always great to come to the UK, especially with the flight tour. True, die-hard fight fans.
Sum up the tour so far for you. What have you seen in his eyes? What have you made of him? And what have you hoped to make in terms of an impression yourself?
The tour has been very interesting. A lot of entertainment. The fans have been loving the tour. We're not getting good feedback. We're getting great feedback. So it's very exciting.
What do you see when you look into his eyes?
A fighter, a warrior, a guy who wants to win.
What chance has he got? Come on, be honest. You know, boxing aficionados. We're working with Chris Eubank a lot this week. You'll know him, the showman, his son Chris Eubank Jr. Those sort of guys think no chance for an MMA fighter against a man of your class.
Well, you know, I appreciate it, but I'm a lot older now. You know, Conor McGregor's in his 20s. I'm in my 40s. He has a longer reach. He's taller, and also he's active, and I'm inactive. So that plays a major key.
You're putting a lot on the line here, aren't you?
Yes.
Legacy. Reputation?
Everything, but, you know, I signed up for this.
And just finally, Chris Eubank Jr., you know, he trained with your father, Floyd Mayweather Sr. Chris Eubank Jr. fights tomorrow night.
I'm not Floyd Mayweather Jr. No. You know, y'all keep saying senior and junior. Listen, my name is Floyd Joy Mayweather, and my dad is Floyd Mayweather.
But just to say, Chris Eubank Jr. trained with your father, big influence. Tomorrow night here, he fights Arthur Abraham.
Yes.
Who wins? On ITV Box Office, by the way, who wins?
It's a good matchup. It's a real good matchup. You know, both, I mean, Arthur was world champion, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
And they said Chris Eubank Jr. is making a lot of noise.
Who wins?
I can't say. I don't really know.
And who wins August 20? Well, I know who you're going to say who wins on August 26th.
August 26th.
But give us a prediction of how it ends.
August 26th is going to be very exciting. I want all the fans around the world, especially my UK fans, to tune in and watch this event.
And what have you got for us tonight?
Oh, man. It's going to be exciting. I'm pretty sure. It's always exciting with me and Conor McGregor.
Got him a birthday present.
Thank you.
Good one.
Oh, we'll wait to see. That was him being humble, by the way, with those diamond-encrusted earbuds in. Tonight, you're going to see the brash and the flash Floyd Mayweather Jr. He said he's got something special up his sleeve tonight in London for Conor McGregor. But behind the scenes, he actually can be at times a very humble guy. Let's go ringside now, because Gabriel's moved back there, and he's talking with tomorrow night's big star. It's Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, great to have Chris Eubank Jr. with us so close to his fight. But Chris, you couldn't miss this, could you? You had to be here.
It is hard to believe that this is just a press conference.
And a show.
And a show, but it is a press conference in reality, and you can only imagine what fight night's going to be when this is the press conference, when there's no punches thrown tonight. It's great. This is entertainment at its finest.
I know in between your final bits of training and sparring, you've been watching Mayweather and McGregor and the tour so far. What have you made of it? What's been your take on the talking on stage in North America?
They both said a lot. A lot of people seem to think that Conor's won the last couple. I thought Floyd spoke. I thought Floyd might have got the first one, but a lot of these crowds are pro-Conor crowds, so it's hard for Floyd to kind of to get one up on Conor.
You sense that again tonight as well. I think it feels like an awful lot of the Anglo-Irish population has made it here.
Yeah, there's a lot of Irish. There's a lot of Conor supporters here. There's a lot of Floyd supporters, but it's a different type of support. I think with Conor, he's kind of the guy next door that made it. So people relate more to Conor.
And with Floyd?
With Floyd, he's just he's the superstar. He's the best boxer in the world. So it's kind of he's got the cars and the houses, the money. It's hard to relate to someone like that. But at the same time, he is one of the best, if not the best. And so you don't really need to relate to that. You just understand his skill and his understanding of the sport, and that's what gets him his fans.
It was obvious, I think, in the interview that I did with Floyd a few minutes ago, that he's obviously building jeopardy into the fight. He's not going to say, I'm going to win this in one round, which many boxing aficionados believe will happen. What do you make of that? And genuinely, what chance Conor McGregor?
I think Floyd's telling the truth. I don't think anything Floyd says is just for hype or just to say it. If he's saying he's having a tough training camp, and if he's saying that this is his last fight, then that probably is the case. And you're right, it is only one punch. Conor has a puncher's chance. Floyd is at an age now where he might get hit a little bit more than he did back in the early days of his career. So there is jeopardy. This is boxing. This is what makes it so sexy. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, clearly there are issues with Floyd Mayweather in terms of maybe paying the odd bill. He's been sort of pretty clear about that. But why put so much on the line apart from that? Why risk the legacy? That's what he's doing, isn't it, in boxing terms?
Every fight is a risk. Every time he steps into the ring, he's risking his legacy. So that's not an excuse not to fight. And if you want to talk about risk-reward, the risk-reward factor, he's making hundreds of millions of dollars.
Absolutely, and that obviously is a key factor. But you also think it's also almost like, if I didn't take this fight, I'd regret it. It's an opportunity which will never come along again. There's an element of pride.
And everyone's talking about the money, but it's not just about the money. It is the fact that the world wants to see this fight. And he's given the world what he wants, and you can only respect that.
24 hours' time, we'll be behind us in one of the dressing rooms here, preparing for the fight of your life so far, your first defence of that IBO title. Sum up your preparation. It's been a pleasure to spend some time with you over the last couple of weeks, but sum up your preparation and exactly what you need to show tomorrow night.
I'm going to make a statement. He's never been stopped before in his career, and my goal is to go in there and stop the unstoppable man. I don't want him to see the final bell. I'm not in there to steal points and dance around and make the fight look pretty. I want to win in devastating fashion, and I believe with the training, with the techniques that I have, I'm fully capable of doing so.
It's obviously been a key thing here. Actually, a few hours ago, Arthur Abraham was pretty much where you are, weighing in for a third time, 5 minutes before the deadline, to try and come in at the correct weight. He has struggled badly. What do you make of all that?
I'm not focused on his weight. That's his journey. He's the naturally bigger guy, so he had to shed a few extra pounds, and I guess he was unprofessional in his preparation for doing that.
Which clearly favours you, which clearly suggests it's going to be easier for you.
I wouldn't say that. I'm not looking into that. I'm not going in there with that mindset. This man is just as dangerous to me as he would have been if he had made the weight perfectly. He's flown over here from Germany, and you know, he's not coming here to lay down. He's not coming up here to give up easily. He's going to go in there and try and knock my head off, which is what he does with every fighter. And I'm fully prepared for that. And I know I've got a chin. I know I can take a punch. That's where I get my confidence from. I know he's going to be relying solely on power. That's not enough to beat a man like me.
And there is a connection to the Mayweather camp, of course, with you. You trained with Mayweather Senior. We mentioned that to Floyd a few minutes ago at the start of your career. Well, take us back to that time, and hoping to get a word or two with Floyd over the course of the next few hours, are you?
Yeah, I mean, I've trained on and off with Floyd Senior and Floyd Junior over the last few years. And obviously, you know, you learn a lot. You see a lot, you learn a lot. When you're in that environment of excellence in terms of boxing, you know, it rubs off on you. You know, you pick up things. And I was blessed to have the opportunity to be in Las Vegas and be around these guys over the years, and that's where I get my, you know, that's where I get my special sauce from.
So, who wins that fight, and how does it end?
With Conor and Floyd?
Correct.
You know, never underestimate the will of an Irishman.
As was proved in your father's career and a certain Mr. Steve Collins.
There you go. But Floyd's a hell of a defensive fighter. Tons more experience than Conor, so for Conor to pull something like this off it's going to be mega. It's going to be tough, but you know, if anyone can do it, I mean, every fighter's tried to beat Floyd and they haven't, so maybe it's going to take an MMA guy that's going to do it, because nothing else has worked. So I can't wait.
We can't wait either for your fight tomorrow night, and of course we spent some time with Chris in the last couple of weeks and his father. The Eubanks is on ITV tonight, a documentary about the two of them at 10:40 on ITV. Do watch that, and we continue to wait ringside for the entrance of McGregor and Mayweather.
And we're expecting that entrance in around about 15-20 minutes time, although things are fluid, things can change. And Chris Eubank weighed in right on the money, 11 stone 13. The same can't be said for his opponent, as Gabriel was saying there. He needed 3 goes to make the weight and an extra 2 hours. What do you make of that?
That's hard. That's a hard question, to be quite honest, because I remember Steve Collins, the great Irish fighter he was at middle and super middle, and he used to struggle, especially at middle, to make the weight, but he used to make it, and then he used to win world title fights no problem. So some fighters are tight on the weight, yes, but it's not exactly an advantage to Eubank, and I think that won't be a problem for Arthur Abraham. He won't take any strength out of him, no way.
Well, they're top of the bill tomorrow night. Lee Selby is also on the card. The rest of the card is scrolling across the bottom of your screen right now. For Chris Eubank Jr., is this his biggest fight since losing to Billy Joe Saunders?
I think it is his biggest fight. It's his first defence, obviously, and I was impressed with what he said there, because he does want to make a statement. And what he wants, most people in boxing would say that Chris Eubank Jr. is the favourite tomorrow night, but it's how he wins is the big question. And he's going to try and make a statement. He wants to get the stoppage. No one stops Arthur Abraham. He's as hard as nails. He's someone now who's very seasoned, 24 world title fighter, 2-weight world champion, been in with the very best and held his own with everyone. But to stop him, that would be a major statement that would go out to the rest of the super middles. And remember, there's James DeGale, there's George Groves. It's a fantastic division domestically for us, world champions in abundance. It's fantastic.
And we're going to have some of those special guests with us tomorrow, ringside here on ITV Box Office. 25 fights, 24 wins, 27 years of age, Chris Eubank Jr. We know he's signed up to the World Boxing Super Series event. If he wins this, though, the next big milestone on the horizon is a unification fight with George Groves. He's looking at that. He wants that.
Yes, of course he does. And he also wants James DeGale because they've had sparring sessions, and you hear rumours that who's been doing the better in the sparring. The boxers know themselves, and there's another very good WBC #1 middleweight out there, Callum Smith from Liverpool. Now he's in the mix. So there's DeGale, there's Grove, there's Callum Smith, and there's Eubank Jr. The good thing about Eubank Jr. is he can fluctuate between two weights. He can go middle, and he can also do super middle. He's more comfortable now at super middle, but he can drop down again, and that shows he's got talent and he's got a lot of strength to go from middle to super middle and hold his own with the guys in the super middleweight division.
When he first moved up to super middleweight, he did say it wasn't going to be permanent.
Well, this is what I'm saying. He said that he wants to be a two-weight world champion at middle and super middle. He's won the IBO title now. It's a less recognised crown, let's get it right, and that's why he wants to get it on with George Groves, who's the WBA champion, and the IBF champ James DeGale, who I think is an exceptional fighter. DeGale, always boxing on the road in people's home backyards. He's a great fighter, DeGale, and so like I say, it's very, very exciting indeed. But Chris Eubank Jr. to win a world title at super middle and middle, you know, he would be like his father. His father did it, Steve Collins did it, Nigel Benn did it. He'd be along up there with those greats.
Some people say that about the IBO belt, but I'll leave you to tell Gennady Golovkin.
Yeah, well, we all know how good Gennady Golovkin is, but that's a fight that he wants also. I spoke to Chris Eubank Jr. He's craving for a Golovkin fight, or so he says.
Well, someone else who's moved up and down the weights is Floyd Mayweather Jr. and he will be fighting Conor McGregor at 154 pounds. Just tell me what you think about the decision to fight at that weight, because that's a weight where Conor's really comfortable. It's not so comfortable for the undefeated Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Well, when you look at Conor McGregor's record, he's been a world champion, remember, at lightweight and at featherweight. So it's a new weight division in a way for him also. And probably Mayweather thinking he's not a natural light middleweight anyway. But looking at the both of them when in the face-offs that they've had, McGregor looks naturally the bigger man. But like I say, Mayweather uses that to his advantage, and the biggest problem is going to be the frustration for McGregor, like I've said before, and he'll fall into that trap. With Mayweather, it's the speed of movement, and he's not bothered if he can. He's making a calculated risk, like he has done in most of his fights, in that he's gone up to light middleweight or super welter, as we call it.
This is against Pacquiao.
This is against Pacquiao. This is a welterweight. So he can go to 154, but he never weighs in hardly at 154. He can be 4 or 5 pounds lighter than his opponent because he feels he has the advantage of the speed of movement. And look at him here against Marcus Banana. He's keeping his distance. He's boxing on the outside, waiting for his opponent to come in. Madana's as strong as they come, but that was a lovely turn there. Then he's back on the centre of the ring. He controls the pace very well. Look how he hits Madana there when Madana was setting for an attack. So he waits for the bigger man to come forward, and he counter-attacks. He beats him to the punch. This is against Canelo Alvarez, who's fighting Golovkin very shortly. A great fighter, one of the most exciting Mexican fighters we've seen in years. But look at Mayweather here. His hand speed is incredible. His punch kicking from the hooks. There's the left hook that goes in there. Right hands, he'll throw right uppercuts also. He's exceptional. His accuracy is superb, but he does it all at distance. Look at that for a shot. Right uppercut through the middle, then he's back out to safety. That's what makes him so good, Sam.
He's been winning those belts for 21 years. He's been beating everyone in front of him 18 years. He's been a world champion, but it's all on the line in this fight. Well, that's what you're supposed to believe. Does he think, like most boxers, McGregor has just a puncher's chance?
Yes, I think that's exactly what Mayweather thinks his opponent's got, is a puncher's chance. But so have so many other boxers that have fought Mayweather. They all think that over 12 rounds, he'll slow down, there'll be a lapse in concentration, and I'll get him with that one big punch and lay him out. But why he's so good, Sam, is that he doesn't lapse in concentration. You can count the amount of times on your one hand that he gets caught clean over 12 rounds. He just doesn't lapse in concentration. His concentration levels are very, very good indeed. Every second of every round, Mayweather, he's on the ball. He concentrates. That's probably one of his greatest assets, his concentration.
By the way, I know you're not surprised by the delay to this press conference. You can see Ray Flores, the MC, in the centre of the ring here at the SSE Wembley Arena in London. whipping up the crowd and getting ready for the entrance of the two main protagonists tonight, the two superheroes, Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor. And when you look at Conor McGregor, you know, he said, I'm going to do 44 fights in preparation. I think he was overselling that. Some boxers do, what, 125, 140 rounds of sparring for a prep for a big fight like this. But he has got that power with his punch. A lot of MMA fighters rely on other attributes, but his hands are the thing that does the damage.
Yeah, he's very good with his hands. I've seen this footage before. Look, he waits, he's looking for the shot. There's the shot there, super punch. Now he's goading his opponent. He wants his opponent to come forward. He actually attacked himself. And that's another move in MMA. But watch this there. He leans over for the right uppercut. Comes screw shot, but this is the best shot. Watch this, he adjusts his feet. Now that's good boxing skills.
That's amazing. That's against a world champion. That's one of the biggest knockouts in UFC history in 13 seconds.
Adjusts his feet and then brings him onto shots. So his boxing skills aren't bad at all. And because he's got very small gloves on, what are they, 4 ounces or whatever, then these punches obviously hurt. The kid's got power, no question. But the big question is, what can he do differently against Floyd Mayweather that no one else has? That's the big question. Let's have a look here. There he is there, never to get his hand raised. What can he do differently that all the other boxers have failed to do? Because he's got to find that big shot from somewhere. He's got 12 rounds to do it. He'll take a lot of punishment, I think, and a lot of stick in the process. But yeah, he's got the chance of landing that one shot. But you land it on Floyd Mayweather, no one else has yet. It's very difficult.
You look at some of those names that he's come up against and beaten: Diego Brandao, Max Holloway, Eddie Alvarez, we saw there, Nate Diaz, who we saw there, and Jose Aldo, as I mentioned, who he polished off in 13 seconds. He says he's Mystic Mac. He says he's Mystic Mac because in the dressing room prior to that fight, he told everybody, it's on tape, 13 seconds, I'll finish him off. And this is a guy who was undefeated for 10 years, one of the biggest names in MMA.
Yeah, he's a tremendous showman, isn't he? He knows how to get under his opponent's skins, and that's what he's done on several occasions. But listen, you know, like I say, I don't know MMA, but I know boxing. Well, I think I do anyway. And he's got some decent boxing skills, but he's got to turn that then with those bigger gloves on, and he's got to lure Mr. Floyd Mayweather onto one of those shots, or he can actually go after him very aggressively. But so many boxers have tried that and they've failed. Maybe it is to sit back a little bit and try and make Floyd Mayweather miss and fall short and then try and counter him. But that's going to be difficult because he's so quick with his feet in and out. That's the problem.
Talking of boxing ability, Gabriel Clark's got some more alongside him in Ant Crolla.
Yeah, great to have Ant Crolla here. The reason for the little delay now is Conor McGregor apparently is over the road just getting changed. So we're expecting the Irishman imminently. A big Manchester United fan next to me, Ant Crolla. This atmosphere, dare I say it, is better than Old Trafford at times last season at home?
Maybe sometimes at Old Trafford, maybe, but nothing like United away support. But no, this is very special. I think the only thing close to this is some of the weigh-ins we used to see for Ricky Hatton when he'd take over 30,000 Mancunians or Brits to a fight, and you see the weigh-in, but the door crowd in the weigh-in. But this is unbelievable, unbelievable.
I mean, obviously, it's the fight the world wanted to see, is clearly what Mayweather and McGregor camps are telling us. Just why do you think that is? What is it that has really captured the imagination about this?
I think it's the old boxing versus MMA.
The unknown.
That's it, it's the unknown. And you see it today, there's so many people T-shirts, boxing versus MMA, and everyone's got their own opinion. Obviously, me personally, I think boxing wins and wins every day of the week, but I think people are forgetting it's an MMA fighter going into a boxing ring under the Queensberry rules, and it's going to be very, very tough for him.
What do you make of those? And there have been a few, obviously, in the boxing world who don't like this, don't like the idea of it at all, don't think it's good for the future of boxing.
Listen, I understand that, and I also understand that people say this should not be allowed. You're talking about one of the greatest fighters ever, fighting a guy who's yet to have a professional fight, and I understand their point. What I'd like to say, though, at the same time is the amount of viewers that this fight is going to get, the amount of eyes that are going to be watching it, and if just a fraction of them stay tuned into boxing after this event, then it's a good thing.
Dare I say it, though, that if McGregor was to win, the credibility of boxing as a sport will have been damaged, won't it?
that is the risk, because you're talking, like I've just said, one of the best fighters that's ever laced the gloves loses to a guy who's never had a professional fight. And as big as the McGregor fan I am, it is scary to think if he did win, the damage it would do to boxing.
What do you say? I mean, we talked to Floyd Mayweather earlier, who talked about, listen, I'm 41, he's 29. To a degree, anything can happen in sport. I know he's building the jeopardy of the fight. Do you see it as a formality, or are you a little bit more circumspect?
Listen, I've got to be honest, I see it as a formality, and Floyd ends the fight when he wants. I mean, people will say, what happens when Conor lands? If he lands. But Conor's been it off Canelo, Floyd's been it off Canelo, he's been off Shane Mosley, Madonna and so on. And I know he's got a little bit older, but it's very hard to make a case for McGregor in a boxing ring.
It'd be good to get your opinion on tomorrow night, because I know you obviously have followed Chris Eubank Jr.'s career very closely. You're going to be with us as well on ITV Box Office. But you know Arthur Abraham, don't you? You've watched him at very close quarters.
Yeah, I've been up close up in the corner, in the opposition corner, when Paul Smith challenged Arthur Abraham for his world title twice. And I've seen him close up, and I was also over in Germany last month, and I was speaking to Yuri, Arthur's trainer, and he says Arthur Abraham, he's looking as good as for this as what he has in a good few years, and that's exciting to hear.
Not for Chris Eubank Jr.
Not for Chris Eubank Jr., but at the same time, speaking to Junior before, he looks in great shape, he always does. He seems in a good place mentally, and he likes the challenge, and there's a very lot at stake with what the winner goes on to do here tomorrow night.
Yeah, you mentioned obviously Paul Smith. He defeated Paul Smith in those two fights. He's obviously been in as well with some major names: Froch, Kessler, Ward. How much is that experience going to count for tomorrow night against a fighter in Eubank Jr. whose CV is nowhere near as good as that?
There's no denying Arthur Abraham is coming to the tail end of his career, but that experience counts for an awful lot. And you talk about those names, your Carl Froches, and and so on and so on, and you tell me not one of them will say it's been an easy night's work, even the one who beat Arthur Abraham. So that's why he asked so many questions of Chris Eubank Jr. Personally, I fancy Chris Eubank Jr. to win on points, but I wouldn't be surprised if he has a few rocky moments in the fight, and that's the kind I feel like he needs at this stage.
And briefly, what's your reading of this weight issue that Abraham had this afternoon? It took him 2 hours to make the weight, just inside the deadline. A serious issue or not?
When I was here and he was just under 2 pounds over, I thought there's no way he can lose that. But then I looked at him and I thought he doesn't look dry in any way. And if he was dry, he was dehydrated at that point, and then to lose another 2 pounds, it would have been very, very hard to do. And he managed to do it, so I don't see it's weakened him too much. Listen, it's not ideal, but I genuinely believe, and I heard that he was on weight all week, and I genuinely believe he's just been going off scales, and he's gone off the wrong scales, and they've not matched up, and that's what I believe.
And a final word, Lee Selby fights tomorrow night, of course, as well. Lee Selby defends his world title. A frustrating time for him against Barros a few months ago, but he's got that match on now. Just give us your opinion about that.
Lee Selby, I'm sure it's been well documented. It's a credit to him that he's even fighting tomorrow night with the tragedy of losing his mother this week. But for me, Lee Selby, pound for pound, is one of the very best, if not the best fighter in Britain, in my opinion. He's certainly in the top 3. And I expect him to shine tomorrow night. I know there's a lot of pressure on him. First, he's a good fighter, very good challenger. He's a mandatory challenger as well. And he sees this as his big opportunity. But I see, speaking to Lee before, he looks well after the weigh-in, a huge, huge featherweight. And I see him shining tomorrow night and putting out a statement.
And do you see the possibility of Carl Frampton? I think that's what Lee would love next.
Yeah, I certainly do. And it'd be a great fight, the Battle of Britain, between two of the very best featherweights in the world. I know Carl's got his own business to take care of, but I'm sure it's the fight he'd welcome, and I know it's the fight that Lee wants. It's certainly, if I could pick any fight between two British fighters, that might just be it.
Ready for the show?
I am, I can't wait.
Let's bring it on. Back to Sam.
Tomorrow night's show looks pretty good as well. These guys in here this evening waiting for Conor McGregor, and Floyd Mayweather Jr. We're waiting for Chris Eubank Jr. and Arthur Abraham tomorrow night. There are belts on the line in all of our live fights as we build towards that big matchup. Around about 10:30 they should be in the ring, undoubtedly the champion's biggest test. And a reminder of exactly how you can get hold of all of that by going to our website at itvboxoffice.com. Well, Sheffield's Kid Galahad is the first into the ring tomorrow night. And when you look at some of the other fights, I mean, this is another big one. 6:30, it's getting us started. It's the vacant IBF Intercontinental Featherweight title. Kid Galahad from Sheffield against Mexico's Jose Cayetano. He weighed in at 125 pounds, 4 ounces. He says he's ripped and ready to go. And this guy, Kid Galahad, as he says himself, you bring your popcorn to watch.
Yeah, I really rate Kid Galahad. He's got some lovely skills. He was very good down at Super Bantam, wasn't he? He was a former British, Commonwealth and European Super Bantamweight champion. He's moved up to featherweight now, and you know what? He could just be the dark horse in that featherweight division. He's 22-0, 13 KOs, but he's very good at hitting and not getting hit. From the Ingle camp, the famous Brendan Ingle gym up in Sheffield, run by Dominic and John Ingle now. And Kid Galahad, for me, like I say, could be the dark horse in that division. Wants a world title fight, thinks he should be up there boxing for world titles, and I don't think he'll be too far away from getting a world title shot, Kid Galahad.
The WBA Continental Super Lightweight title is on the line as well. I was just having a little look around earlier. I saw Robbie Davis Jr., who was having a chat with Gabriel at some stage. He's taking on the Pole, Mikhail Sirovatka. Davis Jr. is undefeated, but this is stepping up a notch, isn't it?
Yeah, he's in against a pretty sturdy opponent in Sirovatka. That's him from Poland, but he's actually having his first...
I'll give you some vodka, you'll be able to say it much better after that.
Absolutely. But he's having his first contest outside of Poland and the first one in the UK, so who knows, it could be a rabbit in the headlights. Let's see. But Robbie Davis Jr., he's going great, 15-0, and it's his third defence of the title. And domestically, it's a great division to be in. Josh Taylor has just had a great win against O'Hara Davis. Tyrone Nurse is chomping at the bit, British champion. And so, yeah, Robbie Davis Jr., he's in the mix, and there should be some big domestic fights lying ahead, but he's got to get over tomorrow night.
His dad was a colourful character as well, wasn't he? Commonwealth Games 76, I think. This is his first outing since January. Does that make a difference?
No, not really. Obviously, you probably would have wanted one in between, but it just depends on how much as he stayed in the gym. I believe he has been. I believe he's had a lot of sparring for this one. So yeah, in an ideal world, he probably would have wanted one in between. But hey, he's got it all to box for still. It's 15-0, and listen, he's looking at bigger things. This is a good sturdy test for him, this Polish boxer, but he's looking at the bigger names in the division. He knows he's got to perform well tomorrow night, and I'm sure he'll do that.
Everyone was very lively at the press conference yesterday, that is for sure. Martin J. Ward was one of those as well. He takes on Anthony Kakachi for the vacant Commonwealth Super Featherweight title tomorrow night. And this is a boy that Carl Frampton really rates.
Yes, he does indeed. And I've done a lot of training with Martin Ward because obviously I'm a GB coach up at Sheffield Olympic Boxing Squad, and Martin Ward was on that squad. So I know all about Martin. It's his third defence. If he wins this, he wins the Lonsdale belt outright. And again, good division domestically. There's Liam Walsh, there's Stephen Smith, who's class and quality. And at super featherweight, remember, you've got one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world, WBO champion Vasyl Lomachenko, the Ukraine. Gervonta Davis, the IBF champ, who just beat Liam Walsh. So it's a great division, but Martin Ward wants that Lonsdale belt, and then he'll be looking at those bigger names in the division.
Yeah, itvboxoffice.com for all the details. And just behind the big Eubank Jr. and Abraham fight tomorrow, of course, is Lee Selby looking to retain his IBF featherweight title when he takes on Jonathan Victor Barros. This is a fight that was originally scheduled for January before it emerged that Jonathan Victor Barros failed a hepatitis B test for the Nevada State Commission. He then challenged that. There's been all sorts of wranglings. It's been a long time coming for Lee Selby to get this shot.
Yeah, his opponent, Jonathan Barros, is a mandatory challenger from Argentina. All the Argentine boxers and South Americans are very, very tough. He's only been stopped once in his 4 defeats. You know, he's age 33, it's probably his last chance, but Lee Selby is a quality boxer. He just needs probably a little bit more power in his work, but nevertheless, he hits and he moves, he makes his opponent miss and makes them pay.
Yeah, difficult week for him. We do wish him all the best. Let's go ringside again. Gabriel Clark is one of tomorrow night's stars.
Yes, Robbie Davis Jr. has joined us. Robbie, great to see you. I know, soaking up this atmosphere, an atmosphere like none other that you've known, with a boxing ring in the middle of an arena and no boxing to come.
With all this, I've never seen a spectacle like it for boxing. I don't know if it's McGregor getting them out here or if it's Floyd himself, but they're turning out. I've never seen anything like this for a press conference.
What do you make of this as a fight in terms of MMA versus boxing? And listen, in a way, the future of boxing is at stake, isn't it? Yeah. What if McGregor was to win?
That's what it is like. Because of Floyd Mayweather being the best ever and McGregor being his pro debut and getting a shot at him, if it was that one-sided though, where that many people thought Floyd, like being a boxer, I do personally think Floyd will win easy. Box his head off, maybe, probably not get the knockout, but if it didn't have that if and but, it wouldn't be a spectacle the way it is. Conor McGregor in the cage is a knockout artist, and the gloves aren't much bigger, so the if is always going to be there.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, most people you talk to favour Mayweather, but there's doubt. There's an element of doubt creeping in maybe by the day, because, dare I say it, McGregor's been the more impressive over the last few days, at least the more strident.
I missed the last night's press conference, but the earlier two, McGregor's really put it on Floyd and the rest of his team. He's even give them a bit of stick as well, but obviously I think tonight's going to be the grand finale, leaving it all for London. But every day I wake up and one day I'll say Floyd and the next day I'll say McGregor.
Really? You will say McGregor?
There's always that possibility. He's the bigger man, he's the bigger frame. When you see them going head to head, he looks a lot more filled out than what Floyd is. And where he's calling Floyd little and things like that, that is because he's so much bigger. On fight night, I think McGregor could have a stone maybe on him. But obviously, there's a lot of other fighters out there, the best boxers we've ever had in this era, and Floyd's made them look simple.
There's never been a show like this in terms of a build-up. What do you think that these 4 days will count for in terms of the fight itself?
Sorry, say that again.
What do you think these 4 days will count for in terms of the fight itself, and maybe a switch in psychology, that sort of thing? We talk a lot about the hype in boxing and in MMA.
Well, McGregor has built a lot of hype over it. Obviously, the way it's all made out, but for anyone that knows boxing and things like that, I think the majority of boxing people will be hoping for Floyd to win. It's more the outsiders that want Floyd to fail, that will want Floyd to fall short. But my opinion, Floyd will come out on top. That's the way I'm feeling today anyway.
Robbie, we look forward as well to you fighting tomorrow night. We might chat to you a bit later about that. But you get the sense in the arena that something is brewing and that the protagonists are close to arriving.
Yeah, we've been getting that sense for a little while, haven't we? But the tension is rising inside the SSE Wembley Arena. And it's not long now before we see these two giants of combat sports. The man who is 49-0, Floyd Mayweather Jr., looking for his 50 against Conor McGregor, the current UFC lightweight world champion, a two-weight world champion, the first man to ever do that in UFC history. And it was fascinating to hear from Ant Crawler and from Robbie Davis and their views on this fight that's upcoming on August 26th in the brand new MGM T-Mobile Arena on the Las Vegas Boulevard. But this is a fight that is different for Conor McGregor. Not an octagon, it's a ring. 10-ounce boxing gloves, 12 3-minute rounds. That's a lot to adapt to.
Yeah, it is a lot to adapt to because he's used to 5 rounds and a maximum of 5 minutes in the rounds that he's been boxing, and a lot of that he could be on the floor, holding and whatever, and grappling as they do in MMA. So it's a totally different discipline. But I've spoke to people that have watched him spar and said that he's shaped up not too bad. But I think what has crossed a lot of people's mind here, Sam, is that if things aren't going his way and he is being beaten comprehensively, you know, it's a one-way traffic sort of thing, will he revert to a natural instinct of trying to probably sweep Mayweather off his feet. I think he's got to watch what he's doing. Like I say, his biggest problem is controlling those emotions, because Mayweather does frustrate his opponents, and that may just well happen here. But he's got to watch what he's doing, McGregor, because I'm sure McGregor will go through his mind. At some stage, it'll go through his mind where you'll see an opportunity, an opening, where he could take Mayweather to the ground. And will he do it? You never know with Conor McGregor.
You keep your eyes on Ray Flores, by the way. He's the guy towards the left of your screen right now. He's very minuscule. He's just outside the ring. And when he goes in the ring next time, we reckon that's our cue for things kicking off here inside the SSE Arena at Wembley. Getting in the mind of an opponent. That's what these fighters are really very good at. They do it incredibly well. We've seen that this week. We've seen the needle between the two of them really ramp up over the course of the last few days. To be honest with you, I thought maybe last night it went a little bit too far. I thought they were sailing close to the wind. Maybe yesterday just strayed over the edge a little bit. But prior to that, it was entertaining fair, and it was building the hype of the fight.
Well, some people may say that, but at the end of the day, I like to see this type of build-up as long as there's no punches thrown, because then that puts boxing in a bad light and people go, oh, those boxers again, they don't know how to control themselves. You know, we don't want to see violence. So I actually like all the build-up.
Thrown either, right?
Too right. No tables, nothing being thrown at each other. No fun. I think they've been quite they've restrained at each other, haven't they? So I think they've been okay under those circumstances. So I quite like the build-up. Yeah, it's been trash talk. They're waiting for reactions from each other when they're saying certain things. But for me, that's okay. Anything really goes to a certain degree, but as long as no punches are thrown where people can point the finger and down boxing, that's what I'm concerned about, and I think they've been very well at doing that.
Yeah, the rumour is, though, that if Conor McGregor strikes Floyd Mayweather, makes physical contact with him over the course of this tour, he gets fined every single time, and it comes out of his purse, which is substantial, by the way. We might move on to that in the next few moments. But how concerned are you by what Ant Crawler was discussing with Gabriel, that potential damage to the sport of boxing should Conor McGregor beat all the odds and take out Floyd Mayweather Jr.?
It will be the ultimate. I can't think of a bigger upset in boxing history. I really can't. Maybe Muhammad Ali, I think he fought a wrestler, didn't he, back in around
Japan, yeah.
mid-70s. I mean, it's along those scales, but I think in today's boxing it would be the biggest upset for the last probably 40 or 50 years that I can recall. I couldn't think of a bigger upset than probably the Japanese boxer beating Muhammad Ali, the wrestler.
That was mixed rules as well, though, wasn't it? They were wrestling on the floor, there were legs everywhere. That's not going to happen
Well,
this
the rules were modified, weren't they? And apparently Inoka, his name was Inoka, the Japanese boxer, he was on the floor a lot of the time kicking Muhammad Ali's shins, and it was a 15-round draw, and the Japanese said that their man won, the boxing fans said Muhammad Ali won. So they've probably discussed it, whether they could modify the rules here, and they've said no way, it's got to be a boxing match, which obviously McGregor has agreed to. But it's going to be difficult for him, like I say, to control the emotions if it's not going his way.
He's also got to be in tip-top shape. We've seen him, we know what he looks like. His physique is superb. He's always looked in top condition. But going from fighting five-minute rounds to 3 12-minute rounds, that's a major difference. It's a test of stamina. We saw in one of the fights at 170, admittedly, against Nate Diaz, that he was puffing a little bit and he didn't really have the cardio that maybe he needed. He'll have to have worked on that prior to getting into the ring with someone as durable as Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Slightly unfair observation, because at the end of the day, an MMA contest isn't a boxing match, so you can't really compare the two in terms of fitness.
So what's the difference then?
Well, the difference is with the MMA, obviously there's a lot of grappling on the floor that I've seen from the bouts. It's a different discipline. There is boxing actually on the feet, yes, but I should imagine the majority of the work is on the floor. Now that takes a different. If you look at the physiques of a lot of MMA boxers, they're slightly different to professional boxers, in that there's more muscle on the legs, they're a little bit more muscular in their body, because they've got to hold and they've got to grapple. With boxing, a lot of boxers are very thin-legged, big on top. The hit of movement, speed of movement on the feet is absolutely crucial in boxing, and that's what Floyd Mayweather has specialised on the whole of his career.
And a lot of it is instinctive as well. And I just wonder whether or not Conor McGregor, being a different style, a unique contender, might just sort of throw Floyd Mayweather off a little bit because he's expecting something that isn't going to come.
Well, at the end of the day, a lot of people will be thinking, how's this one going to pan out? So, for me, we know what Floyd Mayweather's all about. His movement's great, his speed, he's got decent power, his hand speed is exceptional. But what's Conor McGregor going to do? How's he going to box? Because we've never seen, this is why the big question mark, isn't it? We've never seen him box before, really.
We've seen him punch pretty hard.
We've seen him punch pretty hard, but not in a boxing ring, not with bigger gloves. So it's going to be very, very different. And the big question is, what is he going to do? Is he going to tear after Mayweather and try and close him down? That's a tactic he could use, but so many other boxers have done that and come off second best. Or does he wait a little bit on the outside? He's got a longer reach, maybe jab, try and draw the lead of Mayweather and then counter him. It's going to be very, very difficult. That's a way of boxing Mayweather, but you've got to remember, Mayweather is the very, very best there is. So it's going to be difficult either way. Whichever way he chooses, he's got problems.
And how many really can say over the course of that 21-year career, 18 years as a world champion, have really caught Floyd Mayweather Jr. cleanly?
Well, I remember in boxing Jose Castillo, he had 2 fights against Castillo, the great Mexican. I remember Castillo came very close to beating him. Oscar De La Hoya, many people thought Oscar De La Hoya won the contest.
You didn't know, did you?
No, I didn't. I was ringside, and I thought Oscar De La Hoya, although he did well on the front foot going forward, he missed the target too often for me. And Mayweather, this is why Mayweather is such a great fighter. He can box at distance, but he's very good on the inside. He's very good on the ropes, the way he brings that left shoulder around to protect his chin. He's a deceptively good boxer on the inside.
Okay, here we go. The fight that transcends combat sports. Look at the interest, look at the clicks, look at the likes and the retweets. This is next level. We've had Brooklyn, we've had crazy nights in Los Angeles, absolutely wild in Toronto. Let's see what London has got. Here's your MC for tonight. It's Mr. Ray Flores.
I'm going to stay at the top, do what I want to, because when you speak boxing, you're speaking Mayweather.
I'm going to be ruthless in here. My fist is just going to break his whole face, and that's it.
You got MMA fighters calling me out. Man, stay in your lane.
Let's not kid ourselves here who the big star is of this show. Got me, a slick, handsome Irish kid, and has climbed to the top of the game quicker than anyone else has done it.
This is not like a normal fight.
It's big, big
business.
Conor McGregor has said he will now turn all of his attention to fight only one man, and that is Floyd Money Mayweather.
I'm always looking to make history every single day.
The first man ever to hold 2 titles simultaneously.
And here we are again, more history.
This just puts it even more in stone. No one's even came close. I'll be immortalized after this.
No fighter in history has done what Floyd Mayweather has done.
All I ever thought about was winning. But that's all I know.
When there's nobody there to separate, he's gonna break.
They fighting every day, they in the gym every day. These fighters still can't beat me.
When I hit a person, they don't escape.
It's not about who hit the hardest. It's about who has the will to win more.
I see it in my head, and then it happens. It's gonna be familiar, because I already know that I can face anything.
I know how to fight. I know how to win. I'm God-gifted.
I hold this entire game in the palm of my hand.
It's never personal for me. It's always business.
It's over before it even begins.
When it comes down to boxing, I'm the best at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, this man is a 9-year pro, having dispatched of every opponent placed in front of him, having taken the world of mixed martial arts by storm. He has gone on to win world championships in 2 divisions. He is the pride of Dublin, Ireland.
Conor McGregor is a knockout artist. Every time he touches guys, they fall.
No one in this boxing game knows what's coming. I'm gonna stop Floyd. You're all gonna eat your words. The whole world is gonna eat their words. Long, rangy, dangerous with every hand. I'm gonna teach him about true fighting. I'll be immortalized after this one.
This is why everyone's been talking about Conor McGregor. It's all over.
This kid's the real deal.
Oh, big shot from McGregor. That's it.
Conor McGregor.
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
Tag left.
He heard him with that.
Tonight belongs to Conor McGregor.
Oh! He slapped him just like that! Conor McGregor, featherweight champion of the world!
I'll get the second world title, raise them up consecutively.
He got tagged, he's hurt. That's it. The first man ever to hold 2 titles simultaneously.
Call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things. Every single person doubted me. Doubt me now.
Of 21 wins, opposite 3 defeats. He is the former UFC featherweight and the reigning, defending UFC lightweight champion of the world. He is the pride of Dublin, Ireland. London, please welcome the notorious Conor
Well, we've seen all the intros in Los Angeles, in Toronto, and in Brooklyn, but nothing lives up to that. That was something different, that was big. And what a reception for that man, Conor McGregor.
In 5 divisions, he has shattered every record.
Now it's time for the champ, the undefeated Floyd Mayweather Jr.
The king of pay-per-view.
Let's see how the crowd react to this. He hasn't been popular on the tour so far.
When they mention Pacquiao, they say, who is that? They say, that's the guy that we're trying to get to fight Floyd Mayweather. When they say Floyd Mayweather, they say, that's an all-time great. Money isn't everything. Money is the only thing.
You already know I only come around once in a lifetime. Wait till we get under motherfucking lights, and this lights camera action. I do everything better than every boxer. Everything. Never cry, never complain, just work.
I will always find a way to win. I worked my whole life to get to this point, and no one is taking this away from me.
Introducing, with the record of 49 victories, 26 of those coming by way of knockout, the 5-division world champion, universally recognized as the world's best pound-for-pound fighter. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Floyd Money Mayweather.
I do this and say, ayy, turned out like, ayy, taking your chick like, ayy, yeah, I be up, ayy, 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 yeah, I be up, ayy, 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 yeah, I be up, ayy. Young Liddy, I admit it, young worth $1 million. Dolly, they made it, Dolly, nigga, holla, holla, holla. Got a whole lot of guala, Gilly, I do it, and my pants got a chopper. Miss Lady Presidential, yeah, my rollie on Barack. Got my diamonds in the air, and I ain't talking about the rap. Tell her she can't touch this, got me feeling like Hammer. 100,000, I'm up, credit cards and scammers. Yeah, yeah, telling all these dancers, Rick James, I'm rich, but now I'm been a man, yeah. Back to me cause I'm a Benjamin. 4 niggas, 4 straps, smashed up in an all-black caravan. 100 loans like I'm Hurricane. Put a phone like it's Pakistan. Having this shit make me feel the man. Yeah. Been a man, giving go and then I run it in. In the service I be juggling. 10 toes that I know what I do it for. Every day I'm muzzling. Took the white stumbling while I'm on the ground tunneling. Found an interest now I'm coming in. They don't wanna see me coming in. Doing everything for the zone that I made a left on coming in. OT on the 100K. All these other niggas falling out the sky. And I'm winning to the summer head. Keep it going down how you need it. Now you know the whole team coming in. Team coming in. Hey, now they want a rich. Know the lifestyle dangerous. But we already gone broke. They be lying. They said they wouldn't change us. But we always gonna remain up. We gon' never ever change up. We gon' never ever change up.
Wow.
We gon' never ever change up.
London is smashing it. It is putting on the show of this tour. And Floyd Mayweather Jr., 49-0, entering the ring like the pound-for-pound best boxer in the world. Even now, 2 years after retiring, he knows how to milk a crowd. He's great at this. What a showman.
Take it back when I was 17.
It hasn't been as choreographed as this. It hasn't been as dramatic as this on this tour so far. Meanwhile, Conor McGregor bounces around the wing. He's being made to wait by Floyd Mayweather Jr. It's all part of those mind games that start this far out. And everyone wants to capture the moment. And that's what McGregor thinks of him. You wanted box office. It's not going to be friendly, folks, that's for sure. They are here to make a scene, to create headlines, and to cause drama. There's certainly a height differential between the two. Yesterday in Brooklyn, McGregor accused Floyd Mayweather Jr. of wearing heels. He won't touch him, but he'll wind him up, that's for sure. Hey, it's the first time ever Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather Jr. are in a ring. It won't be the last time. Playing up to a raucous SSE Arena crowd. These two absolute superstars, heroes of their sports, coming together for the final time on this wild whirlwind press tour.
It's incredible.
And so far, this is the best of the best.
Sam, see how that restraint again they've been. They've come together.
Let's hope they clean their teeth.
for their epic showdown Saturday, August 26th at the T-Mobile Arena live in Las Vegas on Showtime pay-per-view, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions. The Mayweather-McGregor World Tour. We have been in Los Angeles. We have been in Toronto. We've been in Brooklyn. But there is nowhere on the planet where we wouldn't be. This is a perfect place to end it. London, England. Two of the biggest stars in combat sports go head-to-head. Floyd Money Mayweather, the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world, the pay-per-view kingpin. He takes on the UFC lightweight champion of the world, the notorious CONOR McGREGOR. At this time, we want to bring up a man who's been a market leader when it comes to combat sports. He's been a part of countless groundbreaking pay-per-view events. He has worked alongside Mayweather Promotions. Please welcome the Executive Vice President and the General Manager of Showtime Sports, Mr. Steven Espinoza.
Good evening, welcome. This is, in fact, the final stop on the Mayweather-McGregor World Tour. 4 days, 96 hours, 6 private jets, 14,000 miles traveled, 4 sold-out venues, 3 countries, 50,000 fans, all to see this, the biggest fight in combat sports. Thank you, London, for turning out today. Thank you, Toronto, Los Angeles, and Brooklyn. A reminder, tickets go on sale July 24th, a week from Monday. You get your tickets, buy them early. If you're buying your pay-per-view, buy that early. We'll see you on August 26th.
Mr. Steven Espinoza, the Executive Vice President and General Manager of Showtime Sports. It's no secret that CONOR McGREGOR has wreaked havoc in the world of mixed martial arts with 18 knockouts. A 2-division world champion in the UFC. This next gentleman has worked instrumentally with CONOR McGREGOR. He has promoted many UFC events here in London and throughout the United Kingdom. London, please welcome the President of the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Mr. Dana White.
What's up, London? Ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending UFC lightweight champion of the world, the notorious CONOR McGREGOR!
What's up, London? What an honor. What an honor for me to come over here and end this tour in a place so close to home, where I can hear so many of my countrymen and so many people that are on my side supporting me. We are 6 weeks out from the biggest fight in sporting history. And I'm 29 today. 29 years of age. 4 years ago, I want to speak to everyone in the crowd. 4 years ago, I fought in London at a place called the HMV Forum in front of about 500 people. 4 years ago. Now here I am, 6 weeks out, about to quadruple my net worth with 1/2 a fight. I'm in shock every single day I wake up. 1/2 a fight, let's get that right. I get to quadruple my net worth for 1/2 a fucking fight. Sign me up. You mean no one's gonna kick? No one's gonna knee? No one's gonna elbow? And it's against this little Brilham bitch. The pain of this man's hands in the cold is unbelievable. He's in fucking bits with them little bitch paws. Mate, you're 40. Get that fucking phone out of your hand like a fucking kid. A 40-year-old man. What the fuck? He was wearing high heels yesterday. Check the face-off picture from yesterday and check it from the day before. Proper fucking high heels that bitch was wearing. You should have worn them on the first fucking day, you stupid baldy twat. Oh, yeah. Ellaby, what's up? What's up? Leonard Ellaby, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't gone near Leonard all this tour. I like Leonard though. He's a slick motherfucker, dressed out, nice suits. Not so much today though. What the fuck is that? The final day? You were wearing great suits and you showed me that shit the final day? You're all right, Leonard, I like you, but I've got to be real. When his legacy is destroyed in 6 weeks' time, it's going to fall on your shoulders. It's going to fall on Senior's shoulders. It's going to fall on his whole circle's shoulders. He could have rode off into the sunset 49-0. Instead, this is my first time in a boxing ring. And in 6 weeks, I run boxing. How the fuck did they let me roll up in here? They got greedy, that's fucking hell. What's up, Espinosa? You little fucking weasel. If there's ever a man that looks like a weasel, that's fucking it. You gonna do? You gonna stand up and do something? You sit down and shut your fucking mouth. What's with these two juice heads you got? What the fuck was that yesterday? He jumped up and he shouted, Voltron, Power Rangers, and these fucking juice heads can walk and stand there before me. Mate, 40 years of age. Get your fucking shit together, my God. You juice head turkey and you juice head turkey. Look where you're standing now. Look where you're standing now, you two fucking bitches. You do fuck all. Juice head monkey, juice head monkey. Imagine paying them fools a wage. You are a fucking bitch. Bitch with nothing but bitches on his payroll. No wonder you're gone fucking broke. I'm just staunching around my boxing ring. This is my boxing ring. I am boxing. Do some slaphead. You little slaphead. Boom! I'm so happy you took that hat off, I gotta say. What the fuck were you hiding under that thing? That little fucking peanut head. I tried to tip it off yesterday, I was like, it was glued on. I was like, what the fuck is this motherfucker doing? Step up or going, son. Step up and we're going. Good kid, good kid. Hey ladies, his ladies, I love his ladies. All right, London, thank you so fucking much. What a city, what a tour, what a fucking honor.
But let's get it straight. The bullshit is now over. 6 weeks, I'm gonna sleep this fool. And when I sleep him, I'm gonna bounce his head off the canvas as well.
The notorious CONOR McGREGOR in London. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome from Mayweather Promotions. This man has been a part of many groundbreaking events alongside Floyd Mayweather. They have broken countless records over and over and over again. He works very hard, and he also has a unique sense of style. The man knows how to dress. Please welcome the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Mr. Leonard Ellerbe.
We'd like to thank all the Irish fans and all the British fans for coming out to support this great event. We're going to have a fabulous event come August the 26th, and we couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much for all your support. Y'all are very great fans, so thank you. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for none other than the undefeated, undisputed 12-time world champion in 5 different weight classes. The best ever to do it, none other than Floyd Money Mayweather.
Too quick for you, son. Come get this one. Come get this one, son.
Hard work! 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 Yeah! Yeah! Money Mayweather is the motherfucking name. And I ain't never been beat.
Always old, always old.
got nothing but time. I ain't got nothing but time. So keep chanting, keep screaming. Y'all can't fight for this bitch. I own Ireland. I run Ireland. Louder! 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 A dog. I'm a gorilla. And I eat through fighters like you, bitch. Give me some more chance, them nursery rhymes. Y'all can't fight for him. Y'all can't fight for him. Dana, you don't gotta wear no suit. Dana, I ain't gotta wear no suit. Me and you got the most money. Keep pimping this bitch. Years ago, me and you had a game plan. We the smart ones when it's all said and done. Yeah, we know how to take these foreign fighters and we know how to use them.
Quadruple me net worth, you fool.
We some smart Americans. And you right here running with a quitter, but I forgot. You the pimp, and this your hoe. I respect Dana White. Matter of fact, I don't just like Dana White. I love Dana White. Point to the quitter. Yo, point to the quitter. Hey, Steven, you normally don't get into stuff like this, but for you, point to the easy work. Okay. Okay. Just getting started, pussy. I ain't gonna touch you till August 26th. I'll throw you in your motherfucking neck.
I might not do the same.
I knock you the fuck out.
Might not do the same.
I knock you the fuck out.
I'ma just throw you out.
I knock you the fuck out, punk.
Not with those fucking brittle bitch hands.
Let me see the bag. Let me see the bag.
Cheerleader.
Mr. Tap Out, shut the fuck up. Mr. Quitter, shut the fuck up.
Mr. Pay a bitch make me.
If you quit once, you quit twice. If you quit twice, you quit 3 times. But on the 4th time, I'ma knock you the fuck out. Play the song for Conor McGregor.
Holly with the map out.
Make a tap out, tap out, tap out, tap out.
Crib made a tap out. Signer made a tap out. Jet made a tap out.
Was that song Tap Out? Put that shit on again for Conor McGregor. Tap
she
out.
got that name out, make her tap out. Tap out, tap out, tap out, tap out.
DJ, get the song. Get the song, DJ. And y'all put y'all faith in this bitch? In this quitter? In this hoe? Well, you know what's so crazy? This is the UFC, and this is the quitter. I was just in Dublin. I ain't see you. I was looking for you when I was in Dublin.
I went to Vegas and you fucking retired 8 weeks ago.
I ain't gonna touch you. I ain't gonna touch you, don't worry.
I know that.
I ain't gonna
but
touch
just
you.
know I'm ready to slap the head off you.
I ain't gonna touch you, don't
I
worry.
know that. Good girl. Good bitch.
Yeah! Yeah! I feel so good. I look so good. I'm undefeated. 21-year run. And this is all y'all got to offer? You know what? This is a microwave meal. I'm a home-cooked meal. And settle in on your stomach. Microwave meal. That's what you are. I'm a home-cooked meal. With that cheap-ass watch on. Step your game up. 1.4 million. Bitch. And this is my training watch. Shut up. Shut up. Hey, Steven. I love the gifts y'all buy me. I love the company I'm with. Bugattis, mansions, jets. And I love the UFC, but I don't know what they bought you. Tell me what the UFC bought you. Shut the fuck up, they ain't bought you shit, bitch. Yeah, we gonna talk about this pussy. You punk, you faggot, you hoe.
Oh, you're dragging it on me. Sit down and shut the fuck up.
Shut up. You had your turn. You're the fucking student. I'm the teacher. August 26th, I'm gonna take you to school.
Make sure you bring your skill bag.
Yeah! Yeah! 40 ain't never looked so good. This is the last stop. I'm ready to go to Ireland. Dana, can we go to Ireland tomorrow? Let's go to Dublin.
Yes, I do it. Let's do that.
I can conquer any country. You should have came and got me for the UFC if you wanted a real champion. I run the octagon. I run the ring. Me. And you say something else, I'll whoop your ass in the octagon, bitch.
Yeah. When I spark you August 26th, I'm gonna make you face me in the rematch in the octagon. And then we'll see if you're all talk or not.
Hey! Somebody get Nate Diaz on the phone. Get Nate Diaz on the phone. The hoe.
How's he look now, though? His face is drooping to the left.
It feels so good to be at the top and never lose. You know what it's like to taste defeat. I would never taste defeat, bitch. The earth is my turf. Anywhere I go, I run shit. Yeah. Yeah. And I love Dana White. That's my friend. That's my buddy. No matter what I said about Dana in the past, I'm a real man. I can apologize. You done a hell of a job bringing this bitch to the table. All work is what? All work is what? All work is what? What point did easy work then? Yeah! Yeah! You know what we need to do? Let's say happy birthday to Conor McGregor. It is his birthday. I can give him that much respect before I fuck him up. Say happy birthday to Conor McGregor. It's his birthday. Happy birthday. Today is your birthday. As a gentleman,
Floyd Mayweather. 1, 2, 3. There's your fucking birthday song, bitch.
UK. It's Money Mayweather, Mayweather Promotions, and I'm out.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Floyd Money Mayweather and the notorious Conor McGregor, Saturday, August 26th, live on Showtime pay-per-view, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions, T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Mayweather McGregor, Saturday, August 26th, live on Showtime pay-per-view, Las Vegas.
Well, apologies for any swearing that crept in. I can't say I'd be surprised if it did. Wow. Conor McGregor taking it to Mayweather in some fashion. Yes, it is a circus. Yes, it is a show. Yes, it is hype. But hey, it's fun, right? And if Conor McGregor wasn't notorious before tonight, he is now.
Check. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a couple of questions here at the Mayweather-McGregor press conference here in London from the media. So if you are from the media, raise your hand and you can ask a question for Floyd Money Mayweather and the notorious Conor McGregor here in London.
Question.
Go ahead, sir. Turn his mic on. Go ahead, sir.
Question for Conor McGregor. Conor, how do you address the doubters, those who say you've got no chance?
I can't hear you, bud.
Conor, how do you address the doubters, those who say you've got no chance? How do you make them believe?
By doing what I say I'm gonna do, by sleeping this man inside of 4 rounds, the same way I silenced him every other time.
Floyd, how do you think this contest will affect your legacy?
Boxing.